The Los Angeles Rams, a team I'm extremely high on. They have a really good receiving core, really good running backs, a good O-line, and a quarterback that can gunsling it with the best in the league. And then you look at the defense. Oh boy, that defense. You want to talk about guys who can go out there on every single Sunday and make life miserable for the opposing offense. They have that in folds, and it's young, it's fast, it's athletic. This team is so talented that I think they can contend for the Super Bowl. But I want to talk about why I think that more in this video. Where I think they'll be in the division, where I think they'll be in the NFC playoff picture, and how their offseason improved their chances, and also, what's their biggest strength and what's their biggest weakness? Well, we're going to discuss all that today on the Rams video, so we're all ready to jump into it. Up first, we have to talk about the offseason that happened, and starting out with free agency. Now, unfortunately, the Rams had to cut ties with long-standing wide receiver Cooper Kupp, who was still really good, but you understand at the end of the day of why they moved off him. He had his injury issues, and he was getting paid a lot of money. Does it suck to see him go to a division rival in Seattle? Absolutely. But the Rams did a really good job replacing him because I think they maybe got a better player in Davante Adams. Davante Adams maybe didn't show the best stuff in New York. I think a lot of that's due to the quarterback, because when I watched his games, I watched his film, he was breaking on routes really good, he was beating coverage, he beat press, he did typical Davante Adams things. And the quarterback play there just didn't give him the ball that well. So I look at where he is now, I look at him with Matt Stafford, who I think is leagues better than what any quarterback play Davante Adams had the past however season since he left Green Bay. I think this is a chance for a resurgence type year for him, and where he really takes over the league again. Plus, you're pairing with Puka Nacua. Who are you going to double team? Older Davante Adams or really young dynamic Puka Nacua? It's a dangerous weapon to have both him and Nacua on the field at the same time, because you can't cover both twice. Now you look at the fact they also brought in Poona Ford. Poona Ford is nothing special. He's not going to really make you go, oh my god, he's amazing, he's the best player on the D-line. But what he is a very solid player that helps bring the defense line together. He's not going to blow you away with traits or anything. He's a good technique and will help other players dominate. He won't dominate himself, but he'll open up the ability for other players. He is like a really good point guard on a really good team. Assists are the key that he's going to open everyone else up and then get his every now and then, but not as often as he's going to help everyone get theirs. Now, they did also lose DeMarcus Robinson, Bobby Brown, Michael Hachette. They lost some guys, but nothing that really makes me worried for them. But I'm excited to talk about their draft. And might I say, this is not a draft I love. This is not like one I'm pounding my fist on the table saying, they did amazing. I think they did good. I don't think this is a bad draft at all. I think they did good. But I also think with what they did in the first round is why I really love what they did on draft night, acquiring the Falcons' first round pick. That was just genius level GMing by the Rams front office and everything. Because they got a first round pick for a team that we don't know how good they're going to be. They may win the division, but they may also miss the playoffs, and they could be really bad if some stuff goes the wrong way. It's really smart team construction by the Rams to say, hey, this draft, it's kind of jumbled up from the back end of the first round to really the third round. Let's get next year's first round pick, hold on to it, and see what we can get with that in the future. Maybe we trade it at the deadline, or maybe we have something that we can draft the next franchise quarterback after Matthew Stafford. But to talk about their picks, Tyler Ferguson was their first pick. I really liked him. He wasn't like one of my very best tight ends in this class. I thought he was very talented, very good receiver. Reminds me a good bit of Tyler Higbee, ironically, so I know the role he's playing. But he's not someone I really think is going to take over the league, just a really good, solid tight end. Their next pick, Josiah Stewart, this was the pick I really liked. And it's not as much as his film blew me away. It was more or less the people around the Michigan program that talked about him. Mainly that he was the toughest dude to walk into that Michigan program during the Harbaugh tenure. Which is saying something when you look at those Michigan teams. He's very talented, very skilled, can develop into a good pass rusher, and he's a good run defender, which I think is very key. You don't necessarily need everyone to rush the passer, but you do need guys that can come in and play the run, help neutralize that threat. If you're down in game, you need to get the ball back. You need to put guys out there that can stuff running lanes, that can really crash down on running backs. He does that very well, and he's very strong at the point of attack. I think it's a very good pick that may develop into something more down the road. Now, another guy I really do want to shout out is Chris Paul Jr. not their most tradesy middle linebacker, but just a really good solid middle linebacker that always finds the football. This was a move I really did like, but he's also not my favorite middle linebacker they got because they got one of my draft crushes, and it drove me crazy that he went undrafted. Sean Dolik from Buffalo. You want to talk about a guy that's got the nose for the football? He's got it. He will be a Ram for a long time. Guy I'm confident will make the 53-man roster. He'll contribute on the special teams game early on in his career, but once he gets on that field defensively, he's got the job. He's so talented. He knows where the ball's going. He has great instincts. He crashes down, good solid tackler, wraps up really well. I do not get how he went undrafted. I think it's a great move from the Rams, and it's a great piece of business getting an undrafted rookie free agent that I think this highly of. Now to talk about the Rams' biggest strength, and their strength is pretty much everything. They don't really have an area on the roster I really hate. They have some areas I'm concerned about, and we'll talk about that for the weakness, but they really are just a good team that's good everywhere, and they have the potential to be extremely great. I look at that young defense. I think it's about ready to pop off. At the end of last year, when they started to play more together and they built that bond, they built that chemistry, and it was very clear, this defense is nasty. They can rush the quarterback. They can play the run pretty good. Maybe we're like, hey, they need to add some better middle linebackers. Well, they did, in my opinion, with the draft. I look at this Rams team. I think they've done a great job improving on it from the offseason. They improved on Cooper Kupp, which is not something I'd expect to say, but Devontae Adams is really good. Tyler Ferguson will be a good contributor. He won't be anything special, but he'll be a good contributor in the passing game. They just have a really good built team, and they have a great coach that can take full advantage of that. Now, the weaknesses, and this part I am adding in actually post-recording because I'm reshooting the weaknesses because of the Matthew Stafford injury. Matt Stafford, I have concerns about if he's having a back issue in training camp. Hopes for this Rams team revolves around Stafford being healthy. If he is not healthy, that is a major concern for me, and it has me really worried about where the Rams can go in the postseason, because I think this team can contend for a Super Bowl. I don't think that's a stretch. I don't think that's a bold prediction. They're that talented. If I have to watch them play Jimmy Garoppolo at quarterback, that drastically drops them in my ratings of teams I think that can make the Super Bowl. If Stafford is healthy, not a concern at all. But you see this stuff coming up in the start of training camp, it really raises my eyebrow. Where do I think this Rams team can finish in the division? Well, if you can't tell by my talking, they are going to win the division. I really do love this team. They're so talented, all over the place. Great receivers, great running backs. Kyren Williams will have a great season. Devontae Adams will have a great season. Puka Nacua will have a great season. You look at that defense. Dark horse to win Defense Player of the Year is Jared Verse. I wasn't his biggest fan of the draft. Well, he made me look silly and wrong because that dude is just a power rusher that can destroy offense linemen. This team is extremely talented, and they have all the potential in the world to hoist that Lombardi trophy in February. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you share this, I greatly appreciate it. I am trying to get 300 subscribers by the start of the regular season. I am currently, at the time of this recording, 272 subscribers. I'd love to hit 300 subscribers, and it would mean a lot to me. I am doing 32 and 32 previews in 32 days of every single NFL team. There'll be a lot more NFL content coming up as the preseason gets started, as the regular season gets started. I have a bunch of ideas I can't wait to do for all you. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.